Behind every great result, there is a hidden process most people never notice. Welcome to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into this fascinating world to see how it actually works.
The silicon ceiling has always limited computing power. But what if we could break free and build upwards? Welcome to the dawn of 3D computing.
For decades, chip manufacturing has focused on shrinking transistors to the width of just a few dozen atoms, allowing us to pack billions of components onto a single silicon wafer. Yet, despite this extreme miniaturization, the layout of a modern processor is still essentially a sprawling, flat grid. Because the architecture is restricted to a two-dimensional plane, the core that does the computing sits in one area, while the memory that holds the data sits several centimeters away. Every time your computer processes information, data has to travel back and forth across that physical distance. This creates latency and wastes energy, a phenomenon known as the memory wall. If a flat city runs out of space, it builds skyscrapers. So why can't we just stack these logic chips on top of each other to expand vertically? The problem is the material itself. Traditional silicon microchips are essentially two-dimensional planes of components etched into a bulk three-dimensional crystal. This creates a paradox. We cannot stack silicon effectively because it is too thick to dissipate heat in 3 dimensions. To build a true vertical chip, we have to move away from bulk crystals toward materials that are natively two-dimensional. The very material that made the digital revolution possible has become the primary physical barrier trapping our computing architecture in a flat layout. To function as a transistor, a silicon layer needs to be relatively thick, atomically speaking. Stacking these thick layers creates a heat trap. Because silicon is a bulk crystal, the thermal energy generated by the bottom circuits cannot escape through the layers above it. The chip quickly overheats and must throttle its speed to avoid melting. There is also a chemical limit. Silicon requires a perfectly ordered lattice for electrons to flow. When you cut a layer of silicon, it leaves behind dangling bonds, unbound electrons at the surface that disrupt that order. If you try to grow or bond another layer of material on top, these dangling bonds create defects. These defects scatter electrons, which ruins the electrical performance of the upper layers. Between the inability to shed heat and the volatilized surface chemistry, bulk silicon is structurally incompatible with seamless vertical stacking. To bypass these limits, the industry currently uses through-silicon vias. These are tiny copper pillars drilled through the silicon to connect different chips vertically, but these pillars are massive compared to a transistor. Drilling them is expensive, mechanically stressful for the chip, and takes up space that could otherwise be used for computing. We also use 2.5D packaging, placing specialized chiplets side by side on a shared base. This speeds up communication, but it doesn't solve the core issue. The components are still sitting on a flat plane. Even 3D NAND flash, which stacks memory hundreds of layers high, only works because memory generates very little heat and switches slowly. This technique cannot be applied to high-performance logic processors. Despite these clever engineering workarounds, true monolithic 3D logic remains out of reach as long as we rely on the physical properties of silicon. To break into the third dimension, researchers are turning to transition metal dichalcogenides, or TMDs, like molybdenum disulfide. Unlike silicon, these materials are natively 2D, meaning they are stable and functional at just a single atom thick. Because these materials are naturally stable at this scale, they have no dangling bonds. You can layer them repeatedly without creating the structural defects that plague stacked silicon. This atomic thinness drastically reduces the energy required to switch the transistors. By lowering power consumption at the source, we generate far less waste heat, finally overcoming the thermal bottleneck that stops us from stacking logic. Instead of drilling massive copper pillars through blocks of silicon, we can build dense vertical towers of logic that remain thermally stable. The next major leap in computing won't come from shrinking components on a flat plane, but by abandoning silicon to build our digital world in the third dimension, one atom at a time.